Oh, hello there. Yes, well, it's what the French have named in their infinite wisdom, le weekend. Always wonder where we got that word from. Yeah, it's actually French. Not a lot of people know that. Yes, this weekend. Oh, so many people, I think, are sensing that no matter what, very little will change, if you like, in the immediate aftermath of this election. But there are lots of tectonic plates that are moving. And it's going to be quite intriguing watching all of those people who have had a decade, should we say, of reasonable levels of certainty in terms of getting their particular slightly right of centre viewpoints heard. And you can sort of see a kind of jostling for position with various right-wing grifters who are wondering where on earth to go next, because the future is an undiscovered country for them. And for a group of people that have grand political projects, you can really sense that they are floundering, because suddenly the certainties that were 2019 are lost. Anyway, I thought we'd look at some of these today. I did have to smile. We had the inevitable Carl Benjamin, who appeared to be auditioning for the role of Holly in Red Dwarf, who was suggesting that that people like him should hitch their wagon to whatever's happening and being on the ground and successful. So, in other words, to accept that Nigel Farage isn't quite as much of a right-wing bigot as they would want him to be, but it's worthwhile jumping on the bandwagon. And that doesn't actually have a very good history for Cole, because the last time he tried that, it ended in a bit of tears, particularly for him. Not that that's funny, I want to make that very clear. But having watched his little video about this, about the fact that we can't expect to get everything we want in life, yeah, Carl, well done. The very first comment underneath the Twitter post is this one. Somebody saying, I'm confused as to why the Reform Party UK has accepted donations from a practicing Muslim. Islam is literally Satanism. Literally, yeah. Somebody that doesn't understand what the word literally or indeed Satanism means. And to which Carl's had to put up, did you actually not just watch the video? And the answer was, yes, Carl, but they don't care, okay? Because they're really, really, like you, interested in a bigger political project. And they can't put those things aside because, you know, it might mean standing close to somebody they don't like. Yesterday I had all the joys of watching the New Culture Forum with, hi, I'm Peter Whittle, and Rafe, who increasingly reminds me of one of those characters in It Ain't Half Hot Mum, of the Indian guy who's desperately pretending to be very British. And, of course, Amy hoping not to lose her deposit again, but guaranteed. And it's worthwhile. There's a link down below. Do have a look at that, because it's quite intriguing, because you can sense that they're kind of there. They're kind of understanding that the multifarious problems that we face aren't going to be magically sorted at any time soon, because they're far, far wider than just worrying about an incoming Labour government, or dictatorship as they're going to call it, inevitably. Yeah, these things are much, much deeper. We are in a deeper economic and social crisis. Yeah, it's quite intriguing, because they were doing that whole thing about sort of realising that now Britain's left the EU, it really has exposed just how completely and utterly useless our institutions are. And yes, of course, once again they are hitching a ride on Nigel Farage's coattails. It'll be interesting to see, presuming that Farage becomes the Clacton MP, it will be interesting to see exactly how much time he spends there, because I do have a feeling it's not going to be much. Because if there's one group of people who are going to be left behind, it's his voters, especially in Clacton and maybe in a couple of other places as well. Anyway, moving on swiftly as we inevitably do to the turfs of the world. We had J.K. Rowling, who was just given a blank sheet of paper by the Times newspaper on Saturday and told, "Oh, just write whatever you want, doesn't really matter." So she was decrying the Labour Party, who apparently aren't doing exactly what she wants. Can't get everything you want, like Carl says, but apparently it's just not good enough. And so therefore it doesn't really matter anymore because they're having to go at her friend Rosie, and therefore they're bad people. And I was reminded of this particular cartoon, putting lyrics into action. I agree with the establishment, the Tory government agrees with me. Regular columns in the Murdoch press, interviewed by the BBC. The Prime Minister himself is aligned with me in my mission for a sex-based society. We're the underdog, yet a silent majority. I've got an OBE from literal royalty. Yeah, because these people, once again, will find themselves in a very different media landscape to what they've been used to, and it's debatable the extent to which they're simply going to be able to just rock up to the Daily Mail and get paid for pieces. We've still got Julie Blindell and the rest of them that are doing that. But it'll be interesting to see exactly how sympathetic, especially maybe with the sale of the Telegraph, which is going to go through in a few months properly, exactly how sympathetic most of the right-wing media is. There's no guarantee that GB News will still be on the air in a year's time at all, once presumably the future direction of the Conservative Party is reasonably assured. If it is to go with Farage, then that is very likely to close down, because somebody doesn't want to just simply pay that amount of money for that level of propaganda when you can do it, for example, through the Daily Telegraph. Yeah? So it will, again, be interesting to see exactly what these people, what they're going to do. The danger is that they will simply radicalise themselves in the same way that the majority of the Republican Party have in the States, and disappear down their own conspiracy-laden rabbit hole of virulent anti-communism in most forms that you can think of. That it will turn out into the nastiest things you can think of, which isn't joyful for the future, but it'll give us a lot of laughs on the way down before they batter my door down and drag me off. I did have to smile at this. A school board in Florida has banned a book about book bans because they disliked how it referenced other books that had been removed from schools and accused it of teaching rebellion of school board authority. Yes, you see, these are the free speech merchants. These are the people concerned about your children. These are the people that demand that there's an open marketplace of ideas. Except you may notice around you that right now they are quivering somewhat, because all of those things that they've been demanding very much are coming here, and it might hit the bottom line, which is their ability to pay their mortgage, and suddenly all of those punk rock overtures are going to look a little bit desperate. Anyway, we will see. There will be a lot of references to the dictatorship of the majority of the Labour Party if we manage to get to the actual election day, in which case I will have to keep pointing to people, to those people that didn't mind an 80-seat majority with Boris Johnson. Anyway, do have a lovely Sunday. Do enjoy. It is dangerously close to the summer holidays, I am pleased to say. Dear God, let us please be delivered from the inanities of our political class, and indeed our commentariat, possibly even including me these days. Yeah, I'm just talking rubbish again, aren't I?